Hello, I'm John Halverson, and I am a teacher consultant with the Arizona Geographic Alliance, and today I'm going to share with you a lesson called We Gotta Get Out of This Place, Escape from Papago Park, Phoenix, Arizona. This is a 7th grade lesson, and it is designed to take 2 days to do this lesson. For our overview today, we're going to look at how geography skills, how map skills are important, and they influence us, and how during World War II, German prisoners of war in Phoenix used maps to influence them as to how they decided to go about an escape and how it affected their decisions. The materials we're going to use today is we're going to do a little group activity. We're going to talk about how we would escape. We're going to look at some maps. We're going to look at landform map. We're going to look at a physical and cultural map, transportation map. We have a writing prompt, and then I'm going to share some slides with you of the actual camp and some of the people that are there, and then the kids are going to have a writing activity. Basically, our objective for today is we will examine a map to solve a problem, examine historical documents, and discuss how maps affect our perception of places. Our procedure, before we present, what we want to do is have some background information. And if you don't have a lot of information on your own, I will provide you with basic background information about the prisoner of war camps that were in Phoenix, Arizona, at Papago Park specifically. What we also do is we begin by having the kids, this is a brainstorm activity. The kids will jot down some ideas as to what they might use to escape, what types of things they might take with them. And then you're going to have a group discussion about how that works. Then what we're going to do is we are going to have an analysis sheet. And this is an analysis sheet for the physical characteristics, physical and cultural characteristics. And we're going to look at that map in just a second. What the students are going to have to do is they're going to have to describe the route and tell some advantages. They're going to look at the map. They're going to describe a route. They're going to tell some advantages to taking a route, and they're going to talk about some disadvantages to taking a route. And this is the map basically that they're going to have. It's Arizona's topography and rivers. And hopefully what we're going to get the kids to do is to be able to look at Phoenix and try to make some decisions as to what directions they might go, because some of the kids may tell you they want to go towards Mexico. Some kids will indicate that they want to go north. And they're going to, what the hope of this map is that you're going to see that topography somewhat predicts where they're going to go because they may want to follow rivers. We do have other physical landforms, our mountainous region, the rim, all that, which will influence what direction kids may do. They're not going to know exactly what we're doing yet. What we want them to do is do some prediction here. The next piece they're going to have is a transportation map. Once you have a discussion with the kids about what types of transportation were available in the 1940s, and one thing you want them to keep in mind is that in Europe, the primary methods of transportation were rivers and railroads. And they're going to do the same analysis on this. In the right-hand column, they're going to come up with an idea of where they would go, and in the left-hand columns, they're going to have advantages and disadvantages. What we're doing, you can have the kids do this individually, but it seems to work a little better if we do this as a grouped activity, just because it gives them a little better opportunity to analyze the map and decide what they want to do. And here is the second map that they're going to be using, and it is the major Arizona railroads and roads circa 1940. What this is going to do is provide them another window to look at how they may want to try to escape from Arizona. One of the things you wanted to understand, and it's in the background information, is a lot of these German prisoners of war wanted to get to the Gulf of California so they could get to South America to try to get back to Germany to go back to war. But railroad routes were a primary source for them in Europe, so this is going to give the kids another opportunity to look at another method to analyze how they might escape. And you'll see that the primary roads again follow the natural geographic formations. Once the students have done that, what you're going to have them do is we're going to go to a second session, and that second session is they're going to use the maps that they have looked at, the two maps, one the physiographic regions and the the railroad map, and they're going to make a decision how they would escape from Papago Park and how they would get to wherever they wanted to go. And they're going to have to make that decision. We don't want to lead them down that because it's easy for us as a teacher to tell them where we would take it. And what we want the kids to do with this map piece is to analyze where they would go. And as a final piece on this, I do include for you the actual escape from Papago Park and how German prisoners of war actually tunnel their way out, and all their more like misadventures than adventures trying to escape from Papago Park. And the kids find that pretty fascinating, and with a realization that they probably had a better off being in prison than if they were trying to escape to Germany. Now, what you're going to see next is some of these images are actual images from the escape. These are some newspaper, and this is tunnel that they used. These are some of the primary forces within the German prisoner of war camp. Jürgen Wattenberg was the ranking commander. He was actually the last person captured. Heinrich Palmer, he made it all the way to Mexico. Actually, he made it to within 10 miles of Mexico. The first trip, he made it all the way to Mexico. There is very little left at Papago Park, but you can still see where there were some foundations from the prisoner of war camp. The one thing that is still there is the Arizona Military Museum. They have a workshop that was originally part of the POW camp. Then there's also, in the PowerPoint, there is also an overlay, just so you can see the magnitude of the camp itself, of the prisoner of war camp at Papago Park. The assessment for this would be the students would be graded on geography and historical concepts by completing the two activities, the two map activities, and that's with an 80% mastery. 80% is considered mastery. The resulting essay would be graded on the rubric, which I have provided for you. That's the rubric that you'll find also in the PowerPoint. And a score of 3 or higher on all those would be considered mastery. Finally, an extension, you might have the kids do a comparison of their potential escape route with the historical route across the Crosscut Canal. You might have them research other prisoner of war camps, because Arizona had a lot of them. We not only had German, but we also had Italian prisoner of war camps. Thank you for your time today.